This is part 3 of our study called Where Are You? We're looking at Genesis chapter 3. So if you have your Bible, take a look at that. And today our lesson is called Man Hides Himself from God. See, God came to Adam and Eve in the garden, and what does man do? He hides. So after they sin, Adam and Eve find themselves afraid before God, naked before God, and they choose to hide from God. Man is afraid before God. The man and his wife hid among the trees of the garden. What a foolish sight. Can you imagine that? They try to hide themselves among the very trees God gave them as a blessing, as food. Before they walked with God and delighted in His presence. And now the very presence of God strikes fear in their hearts because they're sinners. Isaiah vividly describes what this felt like when he experienced it too. He said, "Woe is me, for I am lost. For I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts." And John, too, he knew this fear when he saw the ascended Jesus and fell at his feet as though he were dead. But why were Adam and these other men afraid? It's because man is naked before God. As Hebrews 4:13 says, "And no creature is hidden from His sight, but all are naked and exposed to the eyes of Him to whom we must give account." That's what sin did to Adam. It not only made him aware of his physical nakedness, but his sin had stripped his created goodness away. James Smith stated it this way: he was naked, not merely his body, but his soul was naked. His righteousness was gone. That righteousness had been to him as a robe and as a diadem. It made him bold, fearless, confident. It was like suitable clothing, his defense, his comfort, and his ornament. But it was gone. He had willfully cast it away. And he was naked. He felt defenseless, miserable, and degraded. In this state, with such feelings, he must face and account for his conduct to his Maker. Oh, sorry plight to be in. Well may he feel afraid. In that moment, the instinct of fight or flight was born. For we see that man has hidden himself from God. When Adam was afraid, he tried to hide from God. God did not hide from Adam. People often say things like, well, if God would just show Himself to me, then I would believe. Well, Paul in Romans 1 makes it clear that the problem of seeing God is not because God is hiding. God has left His calling card. He stamped His name on all of creation. You can't look at a blade of grass or breathe air without encountering the mark of God. Even the light needed to see anything screams forth the existence and power of God. But people know this, and that's the problem. They know God and who He is, and they run to the trees to try to make some fig leaf clothes and to stand there saying, I don't see God. I don't see Him. Where's God? I don't see Him. God is not hidden from us. We have hidden from God. But God did not allow Adam and Eve to stay hidden. Because God came, they started with what has plagued mankind since. They started blame spreading.